For today's vlog, I have a few things that I want to do. So today is Sunday, so we are going to be packing orders first to get that out of the way. We do have quite a few plants that sold this weekend, so I will show you guys all the plants that sold in a second. I have been in the process of kind of reorganizing this room and changing some things up. If you are not new here, you probably are wondering what is going on. Once I'm fully finished with the process, I will give you guys a updated tour of this room. But in this vlog, we are going to be moving some things around and changing some things up for the shop side of the room. So I got a bunch of new accessories I want to show you guys. I got new grow lights as well. So we're going to be swapping out the shop grow lights, and I have to organize some inventory and stuff like that, and doing some plant maintenance and making room for a new shipment. So a new shipment is being shipped out tomorrow on Monday. It is going to be a bigger shipment. So I have been kind of switching things up, doing a lot of small shipments. Since November is the start of all holiday sales and stuff like that, I want to make sure that I have a lot of plants for you guys to shop on my website, because come the end of November and probably mid-December to the end of December, I am going to be probably putting the shop on some type of vacation mode. I do not sell plants that well in December. It's one of my worst months out of the entire year, not because it's cold, but mostly because people are shopping for their loved ones and stuff like that. They're not really shopping for themselves. And also there is a ton of holiday delays that I don't want the plants to get stuck in. I know it is a little early to talk about it, but I want you guys to just be ahead of schedule of what's going to happen with the shop for the end of the year. First thing is the last week of November, the shop has to go on vacation mode because unfortunately I have to get all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out that week, the week of Thanksgiving. So I'm going to be down and out. So unfortunately I have to put the shop on vacation. It's not a big deal for me, but it kind of is a big deal because unfortunately that is when Black Friday is happening, and I am not going to be in any condition to be trying to run sales and ship plants. It's just not happening. I am probably going to run my Black Friday sale the middle of November. So don't worry, you guys will be informed ahead of time. So make sure you are subscribed to the mailing list. I cannot stress that enough because I don't want you guys to miss the biggest sale that I do for the year. Every year, Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I combine it together, and that whole weekend, the shop goes on a very big discount. So it is the only time it happens. I don't want you to miss it. So that's what's happening there, and like I said, I will keep you guys informed and up to date. Then come December, the last 2 weeks, probably 3 weeks, I will be taking all of the plants off of the shop, but only selling plant accessories. And the reason for that is just because there's way too many delays in December with holidays. I cannot afford to have your plants stuck in the mail. It is just not worth it. And if you are a shop, I highly recommend that you do not ship plants during that time and wait until after the new year. So that is what I did last year, and it worked out great. And that allows me to have some time off and spend some time with my family and my friends too. So I know that's a lot, but that's the schedule for the year. Did you guys hear that? That is literally Evie going crazy in the hallway. So I restock every Thursday, and this week just was Hoya. So a lot of Hoyas have sold, and I'm so excited for you guys because these Hoyas are beautiful. They're bushy, they're everything. So these 2 right here, these are both Hoya acuta intervariegated. There is this one right here, and then there's also this one here. They are both in 5-inch pots, and I'm pretty sure that both of these have at least 2 or 3 plants in them. Then we have this Hoya calistophylla. It looks like this up close. Then I have 2 of these Hoya crasspetiolata splash. They both do come on this cute little bamboo trellis. We have this one, and then we also have this one here. 2 of these Hoya compacta variegated. We have this one, and then I also have this one, and both of these do have 2 plants in them. Then we have this Hoya sigillatus, and it looks like this. Hoya caudata samutra, and it looks like this. It does have 2 little trailing vines right here. And then we have this Hoya New Guinea Ghost. This is how it looks up close. And that is it for the Hoyas. Let me show you guys the rest of the plants. Then we have this Syngonium wendlandii variegated, also known as Syngonium scrambled eggs. Philodendron Florida Beauty, it has this leaf and it has a new leaf on the way. Anthurium crystallinum red, Philodendron Florida Ghost. I have a starter plant of Philodendron White Princess, and this is what it looks like. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a half pink leaf. So this is super, super exciting, and I'm very excited for the customer. And then the last one I have is also a Philodendron White Princess, and it is this big one here. This is a 5-inch plant, but it has grown quite a bit. As you can see, it is very, very large. This plant is beautiful and has some very, very big leaves. We do have some plant pots that sold this week as well. I have several different styles. So this is the 7-inch tall pot. It has air slats on the side and it has drainage on the bottom, perfect for your top heavy plants. We have the 5-inch and the 4-inch round pot here. These are like the typical plant pot right here. So we have them, they have the drainage at the bottom as well. I have these in a number of sizes. And then we have these little guys here. These are 2.5 inches. They are frosted clear and they have the drainage on the bottom as well. So that is everything. Let's go ahead and get packing. As you can probably hear in my voice from compared to earlier, my allergies are really kicking my butt right now. So I don't really know how much more I can do today, but before I do take a break, I want to show you guys some of the stuff I bought recently from Amazon. It's all plant stuff. So I have new grow lights and I also have a bunch of acrylic accessories that I'm going to be using for my plants. Like I told you guys in the beginning, I do plan on switching out all of my yellow lights to white lights. If you can tell behind me, these are all white lights. It's a drastic difference from the yellow that I used to have, and it just looks so much better in my opinion. When I first built my IKEA greenhouse cabinet, it was when Barina only really had yellow and the pinkish white, and then I think just like purple. So I did get the yellow. I will say the yellow is easier on the eyes for sure, but the white looks better for me personally on camera. And I just hate having a like yellow toned background and stuff. I just don't like that. So I bought all of those first, and then I recently bought more so that I can swap out the rest of the whole room. I was looking to swap out the lights today, but the way I'm feeling, it might be tomorrow, so we'll see. And the ones that I use are the 2-foot long ones, and they are 10 watt each. This pack in particular does come in an 8-pack, so I did get a couple of these so that I can swap out everything, but I'm super excited to have everything nice, fresh, and white. So yeah, when we put those up, I will show you guys the difference as well and how it currently looks, but I just wanted to let you guys know this is the brand. It's by Barina, and everything that I got is from Amazon. I will have my Amazon favorites linked below, so you can go ahead and look through everything and see if you like anything. You can go ahead and find everything there. So this is a pack of plant saucers that go underneath of your plant pots. So this is like a mixed set. There's like small, medium, and large. I did get them in a square size. The squares are bigger than the rounds, so I just prefer the square. But this is what it looks like. It's pretty like thick too. So we have a 4 here, we have 6, we have 8, 10, and the last one is 12, and it looks like you get at least 5 of each. The 4s, I think you get a little bit more. I have to double check. I especially wanted the bigger ones because I have a lot of my big plants downstairs in my living room, and a lot of those saucers have cracked, so it is time to just replace them. Then I found these acrylic plant pots, and I am obsessed. As much as I would love to sell something like this on my shop, I think I'm just done trying to sell acrylic stuff because it just breaks so easy, so I'm not sure. But I wanted to just try these out from Amazon, so I got a set of acrylic pots, and they come with a saucer as well, which is super cool. This is what they look like. So they are fully acrylic, and the cool part is they do have drainage on the bottom, and they have their own little tray as well, and it comes in a mixed size, so I believe it's 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, but I absolutely love this. This will be perfect for my little plants, my alocasias, Hoyas, and stuff like that too. And I like the fact that there is drainage on it, so if I wanted to do like a potting mix plant, I still could, and it would still look nice. Pretty much these are like just for aesthetic purposes. So going back to what I said that I would love to sell these, just looking at these, the reason why I already know I'm gonna have a hard time is because these have scratches all over them. Unfortunately, with acrylic, it's really hard to ship that kind of stuff, and there's gonna be scratches, especially when you are bringing in products overseas, like you're bringing in a ton of them. Something like this is going to get super damaged in shipment, so it's unfortunate, but I do see a lot of little scratches and stuff on here. Nothing major that's gonna bother me, and I don't see any cracks so far. Just a heads up, if you want to buy this on Amazon, just be prepared because you're probably going to have scratches. And I figured you guys would like these too, so that's why I wanted to share these with you. I also really do like the square shape, so I am looking into bringing square plastic pots to the shop. I only have 2 styles right now, but I am looking to bring more square stuff come in the new year. So yeah, I think that would be exciting. So I got these. The next thing is also going to be used as a plant pot. It is not meant to be that, but I recently found these little acrylic boxes. They look like this and they have like a little lid on them. So it's like a little box. I think it's like 2 by 2 by 2 or 3 by 3 by 3, something like that. So if I put like corms in here and I'm growing it, I can put the lid on it and then wait for it to sprout, and then I can just put the lid like underneath of it. But I think these are so cute for like any type of like a semi-hydro plant or something like that. I think it's super cute and I'm really excited to use this for like Hoyas and alocasias and stuff. So I got these and I think this was a 12 pack. If you really like them, they do come in like even a 100 pack, but I don't need that many right now. If I'm feeling better, I will come back and we can like swap out the lights in the shop area. I'm just gonna wait until tomorrow if I don't feel better, and then, you know, we can just do a lot of stuff tomorrow and like clean up and stuff like that. But if I feel better, I'll be back. It has been over a week since the last clip. Unfortunately, those allergies that I thought I was having was actually me getting sick. I have been sick for over 8 days now and I am still not better. I literally just had COVID back in September, which is crazy, but I had all the same symptoms, if not worse. So last week was pretty rough. I didn't get anything that I said I wanted to do done. I've been completely bedridden and today is like the first day that I actually feel okay enough to do something. So it's actually Monday night. I did have orders over this weekend, so I packed those up yesterday. Thank you guys so much for all of your orders because I did not restock the shop at all last week. I didn't even send an email out. I didn't promote my shop. I didn't do anything and I still got a bunch of orders. So thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me. That is something that is really scary when you have a small business, is you really can't afford to take days off because there is no such thing as paid time off or vacation time, sick time. When you completely take a day off of your business or several days, you can be in a situation where you make no sales at all, and that's no money. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for placing orders still, even though I didn't update anything. I really appreciate it. So while I was sick last week, I ended up getting a huge shipment of plants. Unfortunately, that is just how things are. I already had that shipment scheduled out and I just happened to get sick. So kind of losing all of last week is kind of throwing me off for November. And right now I am super behind schedule of where I'd like to be for the week. I knew for the first restock of November, I wanted a big shipment. So this is of course a really large one, which it is what it is at this point. I have to just get through it and do what I gotta do. So today we're going to be repotting the plants. While I'm repotting them, I'm just going to show you guys all of them so that I don't have to kind of like film it twice, you know what I mean? We have a lot of goodies in here, I'm not gonna lie. I'm super excited for the shipment, but we need to get with it today because they have been sitting in this room for a week with no water and they are starting to drop. So I gotta like kick it in gear and suck it up and do what I gotta do and get these plants cared for because we cannot afford to lose these. I did get a big order of plant pots in as well. And I also do have a lot of propagation supplies and other things that we need to store away. I'm thinking that once we're done the shipment, we try to get this room kind of cleaned up because I have so many packages and supplies piled up that I can't even walk in here right now. I've ordered so much stuff over the last 2 weeks and it's just time to get it put away. So I think I'm gonna be okay to do the repot. I might take a break in between, but you guys won't see it. But I have my cup of tea here and I think I should be okay. Sorry if my voice sounds icky, I know, but I am feeling better. This is probably the best I felt over the last like week. So let's go ahead and jump into the repot. Let's start with these 2 Scindapsus. They are looking very thirsty. We have Scindapsus rubicon variegated. You guys have been loving these, so I went ahead and got some more of these. Honestly, I have been quite impressed with these Scindapsus this time around. The variegation on them have been really nice and you guys have been really loving these, which I'm glad. Scindapsus are definitely a favorite of mine for sure. I absolutely love these plants. I think they're gorgeous and they're really fun to grow. And honestly, this one in particular, it's not that expensive now. So it's like a nice, easy care variegated plant, but it's also super affordable, which, you know, we all love that. I do recommend that you grow these on some type of moss pole or a plank because they will grow so much better when they have some type of support. Once we get all of these watered today, tomorrow they're gonna look a lot better. And then tomorrow night I can focus on doing the pictures, and then on Wednesday I can just focus on sitting on the computer and just getting the shop updated. So I'm not too behind, but normally I would have had all this stuff done probably by Saturday and Sunday. We have some alocasias here. We have the alocasia black velvet variegated. We have this one, and then we also have this one. That leaf in the middle is the newest leaf, so it definitely has some really nice color to it. It does have some whiter leaves on the side, but they were already on their way out, so I'm not too concerned about it. These guys were pretty tiny anyway. They're gonna grow and they're gonna be just fine. This one in particular, it actually has a corm growing off of it, which is crazy because of how small it is. So I am going to separate it out and make it its own little 2-inch plant. And whenever I do the 2-inch plants, I make sure to give them a lot of humidity and keep them pretty moist, because since they're so small, they will dry out faster. I always just make sure that I put them like in a humidity bin or like the prop boxes or something like that. So whenever I get alocasias from this supplier, the one thing that I'm checking for is to make sure that they don't have a mesh plug, because more cases than not, the alocasias tend to have a mesh plug, so I want to make sure that I remove that. But these ones did not have it, so that's good. So this next alocasia is also an alocasia black velvet variegated, but it is black velvet golden variegated. So as you can see, it has this beautiful yellow color. I love this so much. This is definitely a collector plant, but you're definitely going to start seeing these come up on the market. I did finish the November Patreon video. If you would like to go and subscribe over there, you can. I do also have content for free members as well, if you want to just join so that you can be in the loop of like the shop and some other fun stuff. But in that new video, I did talk about wholesale and pricing your plants, marketing and stuff like that. Just some knowledge on how you can price your plants better, understanding the plant market and stuff like that. So definitely make sure that you have checked that out, especially if you're looking to be a seller or you are a seller, you're just starting off and you need some finance tips and stuff like that. I have included that over there. So these guys are Philodendron tortum. Look at how big they are. I was shocked at how large these guys are. They're really nice too. So I think what I want to do is probably take a propagation of at least one. I really don't have any props at all. We've kind of gotten rid of them all. So I'm thinking this one, because it is the bigger one, maybe we'll take one from here too. I definitely want to take props this round just so that I can start building up the propagations as well. I do take propagations for the shop here and there, not all the time, because it is a slow process to like, you know, make money and stuff. But if you're just starting off selling and stuff, I think propagation is a great way to start, because you're already used to doing that anyway. You might as well just sell off the little props that you have. I think we're going to take 2 off of this one. So we're going to take that one that we took, and then we'll take this one down here. And I'm not afraid to cut the plants at all. I'm never afraid, because they're gonna just grow right back. Within the next week or so, you'll start seeing a growth point, so don't be afraid to cut them. And this plant is super healthy, so I'm really not gonna mess with it too much. I just like to loosen the roots a little bit. For the most part, these plants are in some type of aroid mix. They do have a little bit of cocoa, like peat in it, I think. No like actual soil, so I'm okay with that. But usually I like to loosen them to like look like this so that they have room to grow in the pot. And even though we cut this plant, I still feel like this is a good size. It still has 4 leaves, which is really nice. Here's what it's looking like, and we got 2 props out of that, so I'm happy about that. Now, as for this one, I think I'm also going to take a prop here and also leave this one with 4 leaves too. So I'll just take this little guy here, and then when we're all done, we can go ahead and get the propagations together. So some of these came with these really nice acrylic stakes, so I'm going to save these because I use these to like kind of like stage the plant for photos, so it's nice to have them. Look at this giant piece of freaking perlite right here. This is definitely like size 4. So this is the other one. So both of them will have 4 leaves, and then we have some props going as well. These 2 I'm pretty excited for. They are Philodendron Orange Princess. I've only ever bought 1 or 2 Orange Princesses for the shop in the past, and it's been a while since they had them, but I feel like this stock is much better than the last time. So this is the new leaf here, and it does have a lot of pretty orange coloring to it. It's really nice. But with these, they do have some pups at the bottom, so I'm going to remove the pups for sure. I'm debating if I want to chop some down, but I think I'm just going to leave them because when you chop these ones, they just don't look nice at all. So I think I'd rather just leave them, but I'm going to just take the pups out. Alright, so here is one of the little pups. I'm just going to just pot it up in its own little pot. Unfortunately, this leaf is ripped, so I'm just gonna cut it off. And then once it has a little bit more roots, then I can sell it. But the pups, I'm just gonna put them in the little 2-incher. Any plant that has like little pups like this, I usually will put them in 2-inchers. If their roots are bigger, I'll put them in 4. But they are considered props for me, so they will just go in the prop bin until they have a little bit more roots, and then I'll just sell them later. Now this one also does have a pup in it too, so let's take a look. Now this one unfortunately has some root rot. I can already see it. It's right at the bottom though, so it's kind of just falling off. So I'm just going to remove that. Right, so this is one pup, and then there's another tiny one here. Try to gently pull it out. And then there's a real tiny one here. You can barely even see it. But I'm just going to double check this one for root rot. So this one I feel has more roots than the other, so I'm just gonna put this one in a 5-inch instead. So this is how this one is looking like. Looks pretty good. So the little baby pup actually only has a little bit of root, so I think I would rather just put it in stratum. But this one does have a root that's like established in potting mix, so we'll just pot this one. So these plants are Philodendron glorious, and they look really nice. I'm actually shocked with how big they are, as you can see. So here is what this one looks like. Really nice looking. They have some pups too. We'll take those out, but I'm gonna leave these probably as they are because they're already growing really nicely. I don't really want to kind of take from the length of them, so I'm just gonna leave them as they are. All right, so I was able to get this little guy off. These guys are so dry. I feel so bad because I haven't been able to get in here. Alright, so let's move on to the anthuriums, and then we'll do Hoyas last. These are Anthurium crystallinum crossed with magnificum. So I do have 3 of these. They're quite big actually. I was not expecting them to be so big, which is good though. And they look like they're doing really well. Alright, so looking pretty good, just a little thirsty. Really not that much roots as I thought, so we'll put it in a 4-inch. So the one thing that did get done in this room was James was nice enough to come in here and swap out all of my grow lights for the white ones like I was telling you guys about. And I feel like it looks so much better. I'm going to insert some clips so you guys can see the difference. I really like it. I just prefer the white so much better over the yellow. To some people, I know that you're not going to like it because it looks like kind of sterile. I get that. When I'm like doing content creation and stuff, it just looks so much better having the all white versus like yellow lights in the background because it just is too warm. I just don't like my videos looking so warm like that. I also feel like the white makes things look cleaner as well. I don't really know how to explain it, but I feel like the yellow made everything look so dirty, and I like just hated that so much. So I am selling the yellow ones. I listed them on Marketplace, but yeah, he was nice enough to come in and switch all of those for me. So I just like the way it looks in here so much better. I'm really happy with how it turned out too. So it was pretty simple because all we had to do was just swap them out. We didn't have to like rewire anything, and we added lights to the propagation shelves as well. Speaking about propagations, the Monstera albo props, they are rooting now, so I'm probably going to start listing those for sale. Probably not this week when you guys see this, but the following week I think is when I'm going to start listing some. I know a lot of you guys have been wondering about those. I don't like to sell plants that are not rooted. Like, it has to be like a very specific like case for me to sell a fresh cutting of a plant. I just don't like doing that because I just don't want anything to happen to it over like the course of it being in the mail and stuff like that, and it has no roots. It's just better that way for me, and it's better that way for the customer as well, regardless of how much sometimes customers will try to push it on me. I'm very firm about that. They will not be sold until they have roots. That's just, it is what it is. I would prefer that because the last thing I want is to have it arrive dead and it has no roots and there's nothing you can do about it. So that'll just be a waste of time and money for both of us. So I'm not gonna do it. They all are rooting now and they all have growth points, so that's even better. So we have like a mixture of 1 leaves, 2 leaves, and even 3 leaf as well. So these are Anthurium Pap X1. These are actually supposed to be seedlings. I don't know what their definition of seedling is, but this is definitely not my definition of seedling. I was expecting a little tiny plant, but they both look pretty much the same. 2 really big, nice leaves. Yeah, they're fully rooted, so I don't really know why they're calling these seedlings. So yeah, the leaves are quite big, and this is the newest leaf on this one. So lately I've been promoting myself in some plant Facebook groups. It's kind of rare for me because I like to kind of stay away from them because they can be very dramatic. I just don't like seeing a lot of negativity and like drama and stuff like that. You'd be surprised, like in those groups, it's a lot of like crazy stuff you'll see sometimes. If you're familiar, you definitely know. I've been a little active in a couple of them, only like just when people are saying that they're in search of something. I've been like in the comments like linking my shop and stuff, and I've definitely see some attraction for sure coming from Facebook now, which is pretty good. I don't really promote Facebook at all. I do have a Facebook page for my shop and it's just linked to my Instagram, so it just auto posts for me. As of getting my name out there in the groups, I really don't post at all. I kind of just lurk, but I've been trying to like put myself in the comments and stuff like that, you know? So yeah, I've definitely been seeing some traffic coming from there because I can see on my website where people are coming from. As of the last like 2 weeks, I've been able to see that I have been getting some people coming from Facebook, trying to get over my little fear because those groups are big, especially the one I've been posting in. I've been posting in Plant Purge USA. That's a big group, so I get super like nervous every time I post in there. So definitely if you're like selling and you're trying to market yourself, take a look at those pages because people have really big in search of plant list, and it'll be really good for you to just pop in there and say that you have it and what your price is, because even though they might not want it, somebody else might, so you never know what it'll do. These are all Anthurium King of Clarinervium. So if you guys remember, we've had King of Clarinervium before, and they were little tiny guys, and these are what they look like now. So they have grown a lot. I was not expecting the size of a lot of these Anthuriums. They are way bigger than I thought, but I think that's good. I did try to make sure that I got like all easy care Anthuriums, nothing like too complex. I don't really like to bring too many rare Anthuriums just because it's definitely not my demographic for my shop. I have a couple on the shop, but they kind of just sit until somebody just buys them pretty much. I'm keeping all the shop Anthuriums in the Rudsta greenhouse cabinet, and they're looking really good in there. It's a lot of humidity in there, so they're loving that. So I do have a lot of Hoyas this round. You guys have been loving the Hoyas, so I'm happy to bring them. So these are Hoya Michelle. This is how they're looking. They come on this cute little clear trellis as well, and they both have about 4 leaves. The Hoyas are already in a cocoa husk, so all we got to do is just check their roots, make sure there's no root rot, and then just give them a new pot. So this Hoya is a new one for the shop. These are Hoya Kaminsi, I think that's how you pronounce them. They come on the little bamboo trellis, but this is what the leaves look like. So you can see the leaves are really large and they do sun stress this really nice red color in here. Fortunately, the biggest leaf on this one does have a crack in it. I think it's still really beautiful and it's growing really nicely on the trellis too. This one did have 3 leaves, but unfortunately the third one did shrivel up and die, so I just cut it just now, and this is the 2 leaves that it looks like. Then we have these Hoya Sunrise. As you can see, they are both really bushy. I'm pretty sure there's like 2 or 3 in here, so I'm gonna check them out first before I decide what I want to do. I think I'm probably going to separate a couple of them. A lot of the Hoyas in the shipment are actually really full with a lot of plants, so there's like close to maybe 5 or 6 plants in this one. So I'm just gonna keep this one like this and then have like another bundle of it over here. Still keep like the length on it, but just make it into 2. Still like nice and bushy, and this one has 3 in there, so I think that's still really good. So out of those 2 plants, we were able to get 4 plants, but in reality, we probably could have got like 10 or even more, but I'm just gonna stick with making them into 4. So next for the Hoyas, we have these guys here. It looks like they're also probably have 2 plants in them. Here is an up close of the leaves. They're a really nice trailing Hoya. They look pretty good. They also have some splashiness on them as well. I think this one in particular has 3 plants, so I'm just going to split it into 3s because the vines are all pretty long. And then when I put the plants in the clear pots, it just helps me like keep track of them better, if that makes sense. So I'm not like guessing how they're doing and stuff because I can just see the roots. I have tons of plants in here and I just need to be able to visually see what's going on with them. And just having the clear pots just make it so much easier. So that is why I swap the pots out so that I can see. But it also just goes with like the PlantLifeLex aesthetic as well because I only use clear stuff. So there is definitely a purpose of me swapping the pots out. It's so that I can see what's going on, but it is for aesthetics as well. Then we have these fun Hoyas here. We've never had these ones before. They are pretty cool. They have this long and narrow leaf. They're kind of thick too, but we have that one and then we have this one as well. Unfortunately, this leaf did break in shipment, so I'm just gonna cut it off. Then I have some more of the Hoya acuta intervariegated. Since I still have people asking for these, I'm gonna separate these. The last Hoya shipment I had, I left everything intact, but because I do still have quite a few people asking about these, I wanna separate these just so that people have a chance to get one before they're gone and I don't have them ever again. So I am gonna separate. It looks like we have 3 in this one. We're almost done. As you can hear, my voice is definitely going. I think I am going to stop talking at this point and just put the name of the plants on the screen for you guys. But when I'm done this, I'm going to quickly just clean up, get those props situated. Sorry that I can't do too much. I am still sick, but try my best for you guys.